Greg Fraley. Today we are going to go over the hydraulic system of brakes and how brakes work. We're going to start with the Flintstone style brake pedal and end with the caliper, the caliper, rotor, and pad. First, I want to say the most important part of the vehicle is the brake system. If your brake system isn't good, you can have all the horsepower that you want to have. If you can't stop that beast, well, then it's no good. So, we're going to start with the pedal. The pedal's pressed in. What happens is that pressure goes into the brake booster. It pushes this rod in, which allows atmospheric air into the brake booster, and then pulls the diaphragm, which has vacuum, constant vacuum on it. The diaphragm is pushed forward. It pushes a pin outward into your master cylinders. Your master cylinder has two pistons in it. It has a primary piston and it has a secondary piston. This master cylinder here actually has an integrated proportioning valve. Then you have master cylinders like this that actually don't have a proportioning valve. They actually have this style of proportioning valve. So fluid enters in through the reservoir. When the pedal's depressed, it pushes the primary piston forward, which allows fluid to travel from there toward the front brakes, and then the secondary piston is depressed, which travels from there to your rear brakes. In most cars nowadays we have ABS, but in an older car you may have a proportioning valve. What the proportioning valve does is it directs the fluid to the rear brakes or to the front brakes. In this style of proportioning valve, we have two outlets here. These two outlets go from to the front brakes, and one outlet right here goes to the rear brakes. What this does is it senses load. So if it needs more pressure on the front brakes than the rear brakes, which all systems do, they're either 80% to the front, 20% to the rear, 60% to the front, or 40% to the rear. It adjusts where it needs it. And this also actually has a spot that will sense whether or not there is brake failure. So if you have a front brake failure, there's a little pin inside of here that actually moves and makes a light come on your dash to allow you to know if you had some type of failure. So the brake pedal's pressed, the brake booster engages the master cylinder. Fluid is sent through these double rolled lines into a flexible line like this, which goes into a caliper or a wheel cylinder, depending on whether or not you have drums or disc brakes. On the caliper, this piston is pressed outward, which presses a pad, brake pad, into the rotor. Both sides of this have pads on it. They're pressed, which cause friction and stop the car. On a vehicle with ABS, you have this system here, and what it does is it diverts fluid. So if it feels that a wheel is locking up, it will read that off of this reluctor wheel inside of here, and then the wheel speed sensor right here is magnetized, and as it passes the reluctor wheel, which looks kind of like a cog gear wheel, it sends a pulse. So if the pulses don't match, this will make adjustments inside of here, which divert fluid and make adjustments as to how the pressure is put onto the pad, to the rotor, or the brake shoes if you have drum style brakes. The wheel cylinders, they work a lot like the caliper, where they push pistons outward and push the brake shoes into a drum style brake. They don't look anything like rotors.